Assalamualaikum, and a very good morning to everyone who is watching this video. So this video is a book talk by Pustaka Negeri Sarawak channel, and it is a part of the program for Sarawak Day 2021. Okay, so basically book talk is a slot in our Pustaka Sarawak channel where we talk about books that are in our collection. All right. So, hi everyone. My name is Amanina. I am a librarian at the Pustaka Negeri Sarawak Cebu. And today we have two very special guests. And usually I like to tell you, Book Talk is where we, the staff, we review our own collection at the library, but we also invite some special guests. Usually we invite local authors, local writers to share about their writings and talk about their books. So today we have people who do reviews. They review books on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, and we have two of them today. We call them booktubers and bookstagrammers. And one, we have Aziz Sajai from Z Books and Mojito. And we have Eza Shuhada from Eza Reads. So let's welcome them. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. All right, so this book talk is really special, and it's first for Pustaka Negeri Sarawak because usually, like I said, usually we get the staff to review books or local authors or local writers for them to promote their stories and their books. But today we have booktubers and bookstagrammers, right? So if if the people out there don't know what booktubers or bookstagrammers is all about, let's talk a little bit about that. So can I get Eza to talk a little bit about what booktuber means?
Well, basically, booktuber is just a person who does like bookish stuff on YouTube, like book reviews or book hauls, and basically just nerd out about books in video form rather than like a picture form like Instagram. Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. So let's compare that with bookstagrammer. So Azi, how do you describe what a bookstagrammer is?
Basically, Bookstagram is, as I was saying, it's about a book nerds that review books. While in YouTube, they're making it in a video form, but then in Instagram, they're more to flat lays and also taking great picture of the book, like you make it very elite kind of thing. So
Very aesthetic kind of.
yes, very aesthetic, and they hype it up in Instagram.
I see. So those are the differences between booktubers and bookstagrammers. And I personally, I follow a few, and also I love rent reviews. Those are definitely the best.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah, because you get to see all these book reviewers, you know, all the book nerds. They get to express about the books. And I think that's really interesting. So, to the people who's watching this, you know, maybe you could get into BookTube and Bookstagram and see the contents that they put out. Okay. So, usually you guys review fiction books, right?
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So that's the difference for today as well, because we are going to be reviewing books that are pertaining to our Sarawak Day activity celebration, right? I would say. So we are recording this on Sarawak Day as well. So happy Sarawak Day to all y'all. And so we have a few things to go over to review about the books that they have chosen, right? So let's get into the first thing. about the review, the book talk. Okay, this first segment. Let's talk about the contents of the book. So I understand that Eza, you have the Sarah and the People of the Longhouse book. And for Miss Azzy, she has the Land and Longhouse Agrarian Transformation in the Uplands of Sarawak. Okay, so let's get into the contents and the floor is yours. So let's have Eza Shohada.
Okay, yeah. So the book that I borrowed was People of the Longhouse in the Jungle, Sarawak, written by Dr. Hugo Steiner. And basically, this book is like a not really brief, but I would say concise overview of like the different ethnic groups that are present, the Iban, Melanau. Let me see. Kenah, Kayan, Kelabit, Lumbawang, and the last one is Penan. So how he writes it, it's like he would talk about the culture and their past coming to the future, and like how does colonization differs from everything, as well as he talks about like the traditions and the cultures that they have, which is really interesting. And he goes kind of, I wouldn't say too in depth, but concise enough so that like beginner readers can read it and just be really interested. And the thing that I really find interesting about this book was like he started writing it because he was writing about another book, and then he just started to become really interested in like the ethnic groups that are in Malaysia, Sarawak and Sabah specifically, and he just started writing it. And the weirdest thing is he's not like an expert in this field. He's like a, what do you call it? He's like a medical doctor from Switzerland. So yeah, like it's really fun, this book, because other than, yeah, pretty much it's like the brief overview. Yeah, brief overview of like all the ethnic groups. And then I really like the, what do you call it? The like the food they eat, and then how they raise their kids, and the culture and the religion and everything else. So it's like really interesting. Pretty much that's it for this book. It's just a brief overview of everything.
All right. So thanks, Isa, for the content. So let's hear from Aziz.
So basically, I did borrow the land. My title is The Land and Longhouse, Agrarian Transformation in the Uplands of Sarawak. This book is basically about the Ibans in Saribas, Sarawak, where it started, the way they go towards the modern world, and also how the socio-economic, their culture, and the community there that expand along the way up until Sarawak today. So basically, this is mostly about Iban actually, and from the start, from the prehistory until when the Charles Vinebrook, mostly about history lah, this book. So it's fun actually. As a Sarawakian, I didn't know it before, up until I read it last night. So it was actually a good knowledge for me, because where we started as Sarawakian, and how Iban actually evolved from prehistoric history and up until now. Actually, I am safe for me to say that I am very proud for this book. It was written by R.A. Cramb, and I did not finish it last night. So basically, I just read from the beginning last night. So that's all I get up until where I'm finished last night. So
Okay, and that's really interesting as well when you have a book that talks about the history, especially about Sarawak in the olden days and up until now. And we are all, I would say we are all about the same age, right? So we're all very young people and younger generations. So we might not know a lot about the history in the olden days, right? So we rely on these books to tell us what happens in the past, right? So yeah, yeah. So let's talk about positive points about the books that you guys have read. So anyone would like to start first?
I can start first?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, let me see my notes because I did write a few notes. So, like I said just now, this book is like the brief overview of all the ethnic groups and being like part Iban myself, so I'm not really in tune with like my Iban heritage, and reading about it is pretty cool.
Yes.
And then like another thing that I really like about this book, wait, where is my notes? Okay. Like I enjoyed reading it, and then what do you call? I enjoyed reading it because my notes are all over the place. Yeah, because it's because the English used in this book is pretty simple and easy, so it's really good for like beginners who are interested to read like nonfiction books based in Sarawak. It's not too, I would say, it's not too academic. It's like anybody can read it. The English use is really simple to understand, and then plus in the book there's like lots of pictures in the back, so it's like you don't really get bored. You really get to see like all the
Interesting.
cultures, and then like all the pictures. They show how the people live, and then like what do you call it? Their kids are for all the ethnic groups. Other than that, like I said just now, the author Dr. Steiner really, I don't know. I really like his tenacity when he was writing this book, because can you imagine this guy from Switzerland who is like from Europe, who probably didn't even know about Sarawak before he came. Then he just suddenly be like, you know what? I just want to study about picture plants. The next thing you know, he's writing 2 books on Sarawak and Sabah. I just find that really interesting. Like, I don't know, like, wouldn't you think that a doctor, let's say, wouldn't you think that when he retires, he just probably just wants to chill at home? But instead, he's like just jungle trekking in the jungle of Borneo. So I just find it really cool. Yeah. pretty much. Pretty much, these are my positive points for the books. It's really fun to read, good for beginners. And then, yeah, lots of pictures, so you won't get bored. Yeah, pretty much that's it.
I see. Okay, that's interesting. And also, I would like to point out that the books that they are reviewing today is in our collection. So, for those of you out there who are interested to read these books, you can get them. Through our book bear service, but also you can walk in. But for now, you can't walk in, so we're pushing the book bear service
Service, yes.
to everyone. So let's have Azzy talk about the positive points of her book.
Okay, for my book, for Eza book, it's good for beginner, but for mine, no, it's not. But actually, it's good for every Sarawakian because, as Nina said just now, we are at the young age, we are the youth, and we did not know how the old days was. So this book actually wrote a lot about it, and I I don't know how to emphasize this, but this one is very important for Sarawakian. Me being a Sarawakian for 28 years now, I didn't know how and where did Iban came from, and also our socio-economic back then, and also I just knew that the tattoo on each person of each Iban, the tattoo on the body is actually symbolic for something, like if they have done something good or they sacrifice something, then the tattoo should be there on their body to actually memorize the sacrification and also what they did. So it's very interesting for me, at least. And yeah, I'm not saying I don't like this book, but I did not finish it yet, but it's very interesting for me. So I guess this one should be read by every Sarawakian. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I feel like for Ezra's book, it was more towards informing, brief, concise points about every ethnic. And for your book, Aziz's book is more towards
The
history,
history.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
So it might be like a little bit of a heavy read, but
Yes.
if uh, people out there and the general public who wants to do research, would you say this is a good book?
Yes, I would say this is a good book because my late grandmother was Iban herself,
Mm.
but then I did not know. I'm not that fond with her back then, but as I was saying, because I'm more to Malay and not the Iban and Chinese, so yeah, this book is very good actually. I don't think a lot of us know more. I mean in the young age lah, for the young age, they do not know more about the Sarawak old days. So this book tells me like it literally talks to me like an old person. But then it was good knowledge actually.
Yeah, right. And I understand. So, yeah, we've seen both the positive points of both books, and like I said, Isa's book is more towards the ethnicity, and yeah, I feel like that's interesting as well. To see a retiring, he's a retiring doctor, right?
Yeah, I think so. He's retired.
Yeah. So, for someone who has not been to Sarawak and to be so interested in
Right.
what we have to offer, then I
Yes.
think that's very interesting as well. So, I would say this book is written by an outsider's perspective. So,
Mm.
maybe it will get people of Sarawak as well to be more appreciative of what
Yes.
we have and what we have to offer in Sarawak.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
Okay, so let's move to negative points of the book.
Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about the negative points of each book. So,
Okay. So for mine, it's like a factual book, so there's nothing to like pinpoint of like saying what I didn't like or liked. It was pretty fair. It kind of cited a bit too much on the positive side of like the ethnic groups in Sarawak in general, but I understand where he came from because like he is this European guy that's coming from Europe, coming to Sarawak. So of course we as Sarawakians and also all the ethnic groups will like host him better, and then to show that to show like our culture is super great and it's really fun. So I can understand why he would side more towards the positive side, because as a host you want to show the best side of yourself. So but I would say that in terms of research, this book is a good start to start your research and to get to know like general knowledge. But if you want to go more deeper in terms of research, I don't think this book would suffice. You need other books, but it is a good start to know what you want to know, basically.
okay. All right. Yeah. Like you said in the beginning, it's for a beginner kind of level for reading, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say, and also when you said that, when uh, the researcher came to Sarawak and have people host him and everything. I feel like yeah, you would only be exposed to positive experience.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, maybe if he would try and live for a while and then he would
Yeah,
write.
because like from what I read in the book, he says that he only comes like every year, but he only stays like for a few months. But I'm not too sure if it's like a month with like Iban or like another month with people from Lanao society or some sort. But he does say he comes every year, so kudos to that.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that's really interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So negative points for that was only positive points. Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
All
basically.
right. Okay. So let's move on to Azi's book. So what are your negative points about the book?
Mm, it's not fair for me to say it's negative because
Okay.
this is basically about history of Sarawak, history of the Iban, and how they evolve, as I was saying earlier. So for me, the negativity maybe come from yourself because you don't want to read a lot of words. That's it. But for me, I think it's very pretty amazing, this book. I did learn a lot actually. So besides that, maybe I don't know. as I was saying, there's too much words, and it comes from you. The negativity, it comes from you yourself. Like if you don't want to read these kind of words, then you will not experience the knowledge, the history of Iban and whatnot from this book.
True, true. So it's because it's a very comprehensive book, right? So
Yes.
everything is in there, and because it's too much words, maybe some people don't really want to
Yes.
read it. Okay, all right. So we've gone over the negative and positive points. All right. So um, let's talk about how you would relate this reading experience, reading, especially Sarawak related books, and relating it to Sarawak Day celebration, as we are today, as of today, where we are recording this, it is Sarawak Day. So let's hear your thoughts on, reading Sarawak books and, Sarawak related materials.
Okay, cool. I guess I'll start first. So like I said just now, he's a European dude, and then he comes to Malaysia, Sarawak, and he sees everything that we take for granted, because it's like for the Iban culture, like the head hunting for Europeans, those things are like super bizarre. But for us Sarawakians, like every day, it's like, oh yeah, the Ibans does head hunting. Cool. Past is the past. And so it's really nice to see like this European guy truly appreciating all the cultures and the traditions that we have here, that we, to be quite honest, we take it for granted because we keep thinking like it's going to be there forever, because like we live in that situation, we live in that culture and the heritage. So for us, seeing all the, what do you call it, let's say the traditional art, to us that's normal. It's like, oh, we see that every day, so we take it for granted. So reading about our culture and heritage from a different perspective, it does give me like more reason to be appreciative of it. To Sarawak Day, it's like, I was thinking about this yesterday whilst reading it. It's hard to really fully appreciate Sarawak Day if you don't know the history. It's like appreciating something that you don't know the history, you don't know how it started, you don't know all the cultures and the tradition. So it's like it's hard to be proud of Sarawak Day and as a Sarawakian if you don't know about the history itself, basically. Yeah. That's how I would relate it to Sarawak Day, basically.
Mm. Yeah, and that's true because, Sarawak Day, 22nd of July, was not celebrated when we were younger, right?
Yeah,
We
that's
were
true.
only told to celebrate National Day, right? And it wasn't up until recently that 22nd July was made known and made as a public holiday for Sarawakians to celebrate the history of Sarawak independence. So I feel like it's very, very important for us Sarawakians to get to know. You don't have to like go deep into the details or anything, but you have
Right.
to know what 22nd of July is all about, right? And you know, and I like that you point out that it's hard to be appreciative. It's hard to be proud if you don't know what it is. So
Yeah, that's
I feel
true.
like that's a very valid point for us, especially younger generations, to know what Sarawak Day is all about and what 22nd July is all about, right? All right. Okay, so thank you, Iza. All right, and let's hear from Azi. What are your thoughts?
So what can I relate with this book and Sarawak Day is just like Eza said just now, if we don't know the history of Sarawak, if we don't know where we came from, then you won't appreciate this day as much. Like as Nina was saying as well, not until recently that we celebrated 22nd and we've acknowledged that 22nd is Sarawak Independence Day. So based on this book, as I was saying, it is pretty much about history of Sarawak back then and the way we actually evolved. Sarawak actually evolved, and from this book, from what I experience, from what I read and understand, that actually a lot of culture, a lot of religions, and also our, how to say, our background, that we have to keep inside our heart and appreciate it as much as possible, because as you guys talk about just now, this would not be forever, okay? And wait, please appreciate it while it's still here.
So true. And for everyone's information, I am involved in the in Pustaka. We have this special collection where we call it Sarawakiana. So in Sarawakiana, we collect and we preserve and we document everything that is relating to Sarawak history, culture, and tradition, and all that. So and you're right, you guys, your point where you say it won't be here forever, that is very, very true, because some people, some older generations, they keep the knowledge with them. And if we don't preserve, we don't record, we don't document, this knowledge will evaporate, you know, it will go away.
That's true.
So it won't be here.
Yes, and in this field of work where I go out and find people who are, you know, knowledge holders, it is very, very important, and time sensitive as well, because these people are not getting any younger, and
Yes.
we have to go and, you know, document them, because some people, I would give one example where there's this one elder. Uh, he knows about the old Melanau poem or recital for, you know, uh, for funerals. Yeah. So it is said that he was the only one who knows how to read, and also how to recite, and also he's the only one that understands the old Melanau language. So it was very, very interesting to know that you know, all this rare information that we might not have today if you know, we don't document and preserve it, right? So yeah. And wow, it's making me so emotional as a Sarawakian, you know, like, man, we have so much to offer, and
Yes.
we should be very, very proud to be a Sarawakian, because we have so much. We have so much in terms of culture, we have so much in terms of history, tradition. We're rich people.
True.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I just want to add on that the one that you said about the Melanau, and
Yeah.
for me, I see among my colleagues. For example, their mom, most of my colleagues are Ibans, and their moms know how to anyam apa, the tika, but then as a youngster, as a youth, they don't know how to do that, and I was like, why you didn't learn from them? Like, you have to preserve that skills, you know.
Yes. Yes, and there are a lot of things that, you know, the older generations, you know how to do, and the skills they possess. And I feel like, yeah, sometimes we might be like, oh, maybe I don't need to learn that, but actually we do. We actually need to.
Yeah, because it's like we feel like, what do you call it, we can learn it on another day or like in a few years time when we're ready, not knowing that it could just be gone.
Yes. As you were saying, Eza, we take it for granted. Like,
we take it for granted.
I can always learn that another day.
Yeah. Like I said, it's time sensitive. We never know, right? And it's only when it's gone that you kind of be a bit regretful that
Yeah.
why didn't I learn it, earlier? Why didn't I, immerse myself in the cultures
Yes.
and traditions? Yeah. So this is a shout out to everyone, okay? So go and learn your history, your culture, your tradition.
Be proud of
Go,
Sarawak.
yes, be proud of the fact that you are a Sarawakian, okay? Okay, so yeah, whoa, that was fun. Okay, like I said, the books that they have discussed here today is from our own Pustaka Negeri Sarawak's collection, and they both got it from our book bearer service. All right, so actually, we are not open yet to the public right now, so we are promoting the use of book bearer service. It's kind of like you order the books at the library and we send it to you for free, right? So can you guys talk a little bit about your experience doing the book, using the book bearer services?
For me, it was really easy because I just WhatsApp the number. For me, it's like Pustaka Miri. I WhatsApp the number. I just said like, hey, I want to borrow a book, and then I gave them like the list of books that I wanted to borrow, and then they came back to me and they gave me a template to fill in, and easy after I gave everything, they'll tell me if the book is available or not. And then when I came to self collect it, it was really nice because they packaged it really nice. They even gave me freebies. It felt like getting a present, even though I was just there literally borrowing a book. So it was really nice and easy and smooth, basically. Yeah.
Right. So I from our side, we try and be as accommodating as possible, and we want to get the experience of borrowing books, especially in this pandemic situation. We want the books to be accessible, and still get people to borrow books, and we're still building our collections, and we're still buying books for everyone to borrow and to read. So yeah, we would definitely promote using book bear in this kind of times. Right. So let's hear from Aziz.
For me, yeah, yesterday was the first time that I'm using book bear service by Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, and it was amazing, actually, pretty amazing. Like, it was so fast, so smooth, and very convenient, and it makes a lot of life easier out there, especially for the readers. Okay, and I thanks to Eza, she actually shared the WhatsApp number of the person in charge. And for us from Miri, we texted that person in charge of Pustaka Miri, and I just informed them what book I would like to borrow, and they mentioned to me if that books are available or not, and they require few of my personal details like my name, my IC, my if I'm not mistaken, yeah, my location, because they sent it to my office yesterday, and I precisely did mention that I require that book before 4:30 and arrive somewhere around 3. It was pretty amazing. So very easy. Please use this service.
Yes, and it's free.
Yes,
Yes.
it's definitely.
It's free. So, think of it like, ordering food
Yes,
for your
ordering.
thoughts.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I personally have used the book bear service as well, so it's really easy. You just have to sign up as a member of Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, and signing up is also free, guys. So please sign up. Use our books. There's a whole lot of books for you all to read. So yeah, please use book bear, and please read the books at the Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, because
Yes.
yeah, maybe one day you could be an aspiring booktuber and bookstagrammer like Eza and Aziz.
Oh,
Yeah.
proud to.
Okay, yeah, because you might never know all the younger generations, maybe
Yes.
when they see your content, they'll be like, oh, I want to be a bookkeeper, I want to be a bookstagrammer, you know yeah. So yes, guys, please.
It actually warms my heart whenever I see someone younger than me reads book. Actually,
Oh,
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
it
yeah.
warms my heart. Like, oh, that's good. like, oh, you're not into gadgets, you're not into playing video games that much, but you read, but it just melts my
Yes.
heart.
Yeah, that's true because, as adults, we don't really have a lot of time to read sometimes. So to see them like being so engaged, I feel like even at a younger age, it would become like their foundation, to being a human being,
Yes,
because
Yeah.
when you read, you get a lot of information.
sure. Like I
Yeah.
did last night, and I didn't know basically about mostly about history of Sarawak, but then last night I did learn something. So read.
Yeah, read to learn, please. Okay, yeah, so that's about it for our content of book talk today. Okay, and like I said, these books that we have reviewed today is in our collection, so you guys can borrow it. But also, if you want to read more about Sarawak, we do have a special collection here at Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. It's called Sarawakiana Collection. But those books you kind of only can read at the library because it's reference book. But nevertheless, once we get to open to the public, you guys can come and read all the Sarawak related materials and books. Okay, so you are all welcome, and don't forget to get vaccinated, guys, so that we can have the library open.
Yeah.
We can have maybe book readings and all the events, for booktubers and bookstagrammers as well, right? Okay. So thank you guys. Thank you Ezra Shahada. Thank you Aziz Sajadi uh, for being with us today here.
Thank you for the
This is
invitation.
yeah, this is the first time that we did a book talk like this because before this, like I said, it was only either us, the staff, or local authors and local writers. So this is a new thing, and we hope to do this again sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah, it's really fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was very fun to hear all this discussion.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like a book club.
Yes, it's like a book club.
yes. So yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. And do you have anything to plug?
So far, got nothing.
Do you want to promote your booktube, your
Oh yeah. I do have a book too. I don't know. I'm kind of embarrassed to promote it, but I guess can just subscribe. my my booktube name is just my name is Ashwata.
Yes, I should.
Yeah.
How about Auntie?
So I'm not on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. So maybe you can follow my Instagram. And yeah, as I was saying, I would like to promote again the book bear service by Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. It was so amazing. I love it. Like the package is very neatly packed, and I don't know. It's like I feel like I'm receiving some present yesterday.
Yeah, that's true. Me too.
Yes, kan?
I felt like, oh, you guys, you shouldn't have.
Yes, I was like, please use this book bear service. It's very good, Sarawak. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, very very convenient invention.
Right. Kudos to the Book Bear team. You guys did a wonderful job. Thank you. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, guys, we are promoting the Book Bear service. If you want to know more, you can contact us here at Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. All right. Thank you so much, Eza, and thank you so much, Azi, for being here. And let's hope that this would, continue and we could have more booktubers and bookstagrammers here on Pustaka Negeri Sarawak's channel. So
There's a
thank
lot
you.
of there's a lot of bookstagram out there.
Yeah,
Sarawak bookstagram, yes.
yes. I just saw the compilation that Eza did, with all the Sarawak booktubers and bookstagrammers. And I was like, yo, we have a lot of bookstagrammers.
Hey, even I was surprised. I was like, oh my god, there's a lot of us.
Yes.
Me
So I'm
too. I
like,
was like, oh, there's a lot from Miri as well. Okay.
I know. It's like, oh my god, my friends.
yeah, we have a lot of, book nerds, like you said, book
Yeah.
nerds. So So that's really interesting. So yeah, I feel like this little community that you guys have going on is very, very wonderful, you know, and it's promoting reading. It's really nice. Okay, so yeah, thank you guys again so much.
Thank you.
So we'll see on the next book talk, y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Happy Sarawak Day.
Yeah, happy Sarawak Day.